Fate. Cycles of time. The path is a spiral. We either spiral up or down depending on the level of consciousness we are working with. The more we work with the universal energies, the less extremes we will experience. We're back in a place very similar to February of last year. What is different this year from last? Have we learned anything? Are we working with this energy as a master since we are here again? These are the questions that we can ask when looking at the energy of this Capricorn new moon. This is the last and final time that Pluto will be conjunct a new moon in Capricorn in our lifetime. Pluto will not be returning to this particular configuration for around 250 years. So there is a lot of finality to this new moon. A cycle is complete, and yet at the same time it is repeating from last year. This is a gnarly chart. Luckily, despite 7 squares, the number of spiritual illumination according to Carl Jung, we have some sweet aspects in this chart, and more than the bitter. So this is a more harmonious chart, but there are major stumbling blocks. I have no doubt that we will experience an epiphany or paradigm shift this month. What we realize from seeing the start of a familiar pattern is that we can change our reaction to it, and while it may not change the outer reality and circumstances, we can go through the pattern with more peace, more composure, and understanding than normal. This moon is at 20 degrees, so we have 2 energy, which is the number for duality, and represents our choice. We are dealing with the results of our actions from the last year. What will we do the same, or will we break the chains of the cycle that bind us? This is the question that is being offered with this new moon. Uranus is now the only planet retrograde. Jupiter is finally direct. Even the asteroid Chiron has turned direct. We are starting off the year with a real bang of energy, with so many planets direct. We may feel as though, however, that because we are on the spiral path, that we are right where we began. The people and places may be different, but it's the same scenario. The big thing here is that we have the Sun, Moon, and Pluto conjunct in Capricorn. We had that taste of Pluto in Aquarius, but we are back to the energy that we experienced in January of last year. We have unfinished business in the real world power structures, and when it comes to work. Saturn, the host of this new moon, is in Pisces with a sextile to Mars and interacting with Jupiter. A limitation involving Pisces, groupthink, ocean of mysticism, is having a direct effect on our daily life, and our willpower is being affected as a result. This is a reality check. We are really being confronted with the reality we have built and the way things are on a collective level. This is kind of like when you are potty training a puppy. They've pooped in the house and you make sure they smell it. All of us have our nose pressed into whatever we manifested. We are being asked if we really want to manifest this again, while Pluto travels through Aquarius, taking us to 2044. A hop, skip, and jump from 2048 that is a huge date in prophecy, where humanity is supposed to regain its spiritual heritage. If we don't like what we have manifested, we have the opportunity to change it. We cannot change an aspect of astrology, but we can change our approach to the astrology and how we work with the energy. Our wounds are also amplified this month as the North Node is sandwiched between Chiron and Eris. Chiron is the energy of the healed healer, and Eris is our rejected shadow. Chiron, now direct, along with the North Node, are both squaring this new moon. Again, we may feel as though we are reliving the wounds of the past. There is a feeling of not making any real progress or change in the last year. In addition to so many planets and aspects being direct, there is an additional push of energy at this new moon because the divine twins, Venus and Mercury, are in Sagittarius, ready for their new adventure. Jupiter is amplifying the Earth's experience in Taurus, but Uranus is there shaking things up. Life continues to be chaotic or fresh depending on your perspective. Mars at the 1st degree of Capricorn is giving us the energy to deal with this real-world dilemma that we are facing and empowering us to get work done. Alright, let's get into the symbols associated with this new moon. First, the tarot card key for Capricorn is the Devil card. This is also the first tarot card key of the Path of the Seeker, and it corresponds to calcination step of alchemy. The key to this card is to know that the two beings can remove their chains at any time. The chains connect them to the square of matter, tied to physical material reality. The being at the center of the card has no real power over the two of them. They are giving that being their power. This is a card that depicts samsara, how we trap ourselves in the endless process of reincarnation, of death and rebirth in exchange for the experience of having pleasurable physical material reality experiences. Our second symbol is the Hebrew letter Ayin. In the Hebrew tradition, Ayin is the letter associated with insight and perception. In esoteric traditions taught by Paul Foster Case, this is the eye, kind of like the eye of Sauron in Lord of the Rings. This is the part of us that says, I am, that seeks to be different from others, to be unique. This part of us is what can become obsessed, and most often has been, with having experiences in the physical material reality. The indigenous moon is Contemplation Moon. This is the first moon of the northern direction. That is the Earth direction. Here we are seeing the results of our work. This is not the time to take action, but zoom out and contemplate the bigger picture. Here we know whether we put in enough work and if our efforts over the course of the year worked. We can also make adjustments to what we have been doing so that next year is better. The oracle card that I pulled for this new moon is the Time Master. This is a card about the cycles of time and working with time accurately. Time is actually strangely elastic. When we are in the zone doing something we love, it tends to fly by. When in an uncomfortable situation that we are not happy with, the time seems to click by more slowly. Learning and realizing the energy of both of these modalities can help us tremendously. What this card really reminds me of in this particular situation is cycles. Knowing astrology, knowing your personal cycles, can be life-changing. The major cycle in this situation is Pluto, Sun, and Moon conjunction. What happened last year? How is this year different? Can we initiate a new experience, or are we doomed to repeat in a slightly different way what we have experienced last year? Well, thank you for joining me. That's what we are working with during this new moon. Personally, with this energy, I'm setting the intention to have a new experience. Of course, what this means is that I will pay attention to repeating patterns. If it is a positive experience that is repeating, I won't get in the way of it. And overwhelmingly for me, 2023 was a milestone of a year. My YouTube took off and I published 2 books. I've had mild success, not crazy viral success, but I am excited about the progress. So I don't really want to change too many things in my life. So for me, this month is one to be vigilant. Now, if you want more thoughts about the new moon, you can check out my blog, which I will start linking in my videos. I go into the crystal grid I will use for the new moon, and if I have time, I add in a meditation on the way I see energy playing out in my own life. So you know the routine. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button so other people can find this channel. It helps with the algorithm. And subscribe so you receive my future astrology videos. Bye for now.